The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.
3, 2, 1.
Every human came to earth with a gift, and they must discover that gift and refine that gift for them to be fulfilled.
The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame.
Yo, hey man, how you work this radio?
You're not listening to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Keep it locked.
Owning a home and paying it off is one of the data points of an everyday millionaire.
Home sales across the U.S. are on the rise as buyers take advantage of record low mortgage rates.
Good morning, morning, morning. Now let's get back to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Good morning. It's the Tie and Hoodie Show right here on 93.5 K-Day. Each and every Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm your host, Trevon Smith, also known as Trey. This is my whole co-host, Andrew. Oh, Jesse Koba, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Trevon. Doing good, man. It's sorry I can't be next to you like we were a couple weeks ago, but you know, pandemic.
It's the pandemic. It's a very special day. It's Valentine's Day. We got a very special guest in the house, so I'm gonna save all my introduction because I definitely want this man to use this man's time, you know, as exponential as we can. It's the one and only Mr. Harry Mack. How you doing? Thank you for joining us this Sunday morning.
Oh man, my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Happy to be here.
Definitely a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry Mack. This is the second time we're having you on a show, and we were so hyped. Well, I mean, we follow your content. We see what you're doing out there. You're blessing people with your talent, and we just want to thank you for you know, hanging it out with us, you know, this Sunday morning.
Appreciate the kind words, man. No, it's my pleasure. I'm always happy to be on the show.
No, it's definitely a pleasure, man. And like me and Andrew, we were discussing, I think you're like, I want to get into that, my second question, but I think you're like a marketing genius, and you've figured some things out, because I'm paying attention to you more and more as I've developed a little building relationship with you. And one of the things that I want to know, what's some things that you've that's going on since the last show? I see, because there's a lot of movement in your area. So if you could explain to the K-Day listeners and your fans listening, what's some things that you have going on as of right now?
Yeah, one of the big shifts, you know, for this year, 2021, we kind of did an overhaul on the sort of live streaming element of, you know, my brand. Live streaming has always been a big thing for me for the past couple of years, even before the pandemic, believe it or not. You know, nowadays, everybody is having to pivot into this virtual space. So a lot of musicians who, you know, weren't necessarily live streaming previously are doing it now, which is dope. And it's cool to see so many different types of musicians being able to pivot. But for me, I was kind of in a fortunate position where I was actually live streaming prior to the pandemic, because, you know, my performance style being so improvisational, it really works the best when there's some kind of a random input coming at me. So in the live streaming, it's cool. People can throw me random words in the chat, which is kind of where I started. And now this year, the biggest change is we're doing this happy hour live stream as a multicast. So it goes out to YouTube and Facebook, both at the same time, which is really dope. We're using Restream, which is a tool online that allows you to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. And with the happy hour stream, it's more than just people throwing me words in the chat. We're actually bringing random guests, community members, fans, people who are watching the stream have the opportunity to come join me on stream and talk with me via video chat to throw me words and inspire my freestyle. Yeah.
So if you're just joining us again, is the one and only Harry Mack that we're having as a guest today. And Harry, you know, you were kind enough to, you know, be on a live stream with my family personally on my 10th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
And I, you know, this is, you know, I can't even tell you, words can describe what you did for us, because, you know, my family is like, well, who's this guy? Who is Harry Mack? Who's this guy? I mean, how does he do what he does? So can you tell our listeners, how do you do what you do?
That's a great question. I mean, there's kind of a long answer and then a short answer. I'll give you the short answer first, and then I'll expound a little bit without taking up the whole show here. But the short answer is, I've been doing it since I was 12 years old. And I'm 30 now. So that's 18 years of, pretty obsessive practice, particularly with freestyling and improvising and making up raps off the top of my head. So that's the easy answer is I've been doing it for a long, long time. And it's just like learning a musical instrument. It's like learning the violin or learning how to play the drum set. It's the same concept. The more energy you invest into it, the more you develop your skills and your techniques, and you start to build this really strong foundation of technique. So freestyling, just like playing the drums, involves certain techniques and things that you can practice. There's this setup punchline technique I use. There's a lot of free association exercises that I work on, a lot of brain exercises, and just things to keep my mind sharp and keep me sort of elevating my freestyle game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like we said, I only know, I was talking to Andrew, and I don't know a lot of people that know who Crooked Eye is, but you remind me of Crooked Eye. And we had this conversation before because Crooked Eye's word play is so ridiculous, and you remind me of that, like with the Eminem and things upon that nature. So I just I definitely want to put that out there again, because from me to you, I mean, that's I promise you that's more than enough compliment. Like, hey, I think you're like dope, like for real.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Crooked Eye too. He's a legend, man. I'm a huge fan.
He's definitely a legend. But you like, your wordplay reminds me of him so much. And like I said, we'll talk about that again.
Yeah.
But during this pandemic, like, is there some things that, like you said, you were doing it before the pandemic has started, but has the universe kind of traveled your way a little bit? Because it looks like you're doing something unheard of right now, as far as bringing your base to you, bringing the fan base to you, the community to you. And I think more people, like, I think you have something where more people will start it or try to attempt to do what you're doing.
Definitely, man. Well, first of all, I appreciate you saying that, man. That means a lot to me because, I've definitely been working hard to, figure out the best way to pivot during this time. And it has been interesting. Obviously with COVID, there's a lot of pain and uncertainty in the world. And my heart goes out to all of my musical comrades, who have, people who are used to touring and gigging live, who have really taken a big hit during this time. But, there has been, like you say, a lot of growth on my side. The universe has opened up to me in a lot of ways. I think it's kind of two main things. One, my performance style really does lend itself very well to the virtual space. I don't need a band. I produce and make beats myself. I can run tracks here, like, through my setup at home, so, I'm very fortunate in that sense. And because it's improv, it converts really well to this sort of digital space. And I think the other thing is what you mentioned, where I'm really opening myself up to my fans. I'm really making myself available to my fan base and sort of lifting up the veil. You know what I mean? I think I've sort of noticed this shift that corresponds with COVID and everything that's happening right now, but that was actually kind of bubbling up, I think, before COVID. Whereas, in the past, it was like celebrities, so to speak, or your favorite musicians or actors, actresses, whatever, it was popular for them to only really be seen when they release a big project, whether they drop an album or appear in a big movie. That's when you see them and they do their press run and everything. And then they kind of fade away to the background for a year or two while they're working on the next thing. And during that time, they're maintaining this sort of mystique or this distance between them and their fan base, which is cool. That was cool at that time. It would create this sort of mystery. What are they working on now? When are they going to hit us next? And then boom, next big album, right? And that was kind of the norm. And I've seen recently there's been this big shift, where now what it seems people really crave from their idols and the people they look up to in entertainment is being able to see them in their kitchen, live streaming on IG, right? See them sitting on the couch, pull out the phone, do a freestyle, shout out to the fans. Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? People want to see people sort of in this vulnerable everyday kind of space so that they can say, oh, I can relate to that. That's that person, you know, there's somebody I look up to, but they're also a real human being. And so I think that shift is really interesting, where there's no longer that distance or that mystique. And I've kind of been leaning into that as much as possible and just saying, yo, I'm here. I'm on this stream 5 days a week. You know, you can come on and video chat with me, you know, or you can hit me up and hire me to do a Zoom with you and your family for a 10-year wedding anniversary or whatever it is. You know, I'm available. I'm not behind this veil. I'm right there with my fans. So yeah, that's been major.
Now we've seen you now. You are, I'm a avid follower. I watch your interactions with people around the world. I mean, it's amazing to see what's happening in your life. How do you, you know, somebody who's listening right now saying, hey, I have a gift. I know how to do hair, or I know how to do nails. How can you advise somebody to turn that gift into a business, or that passion into a business, like you have kind of found your niche, you found your way? How will you advise people who are listening right now to do the same?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that, you know, that come to mind, but I think the biggest thing for me is you have to be ready to commit. And you have to be ready to take that leap of faith. You know, one of my favorite sayings that I read, and I don't even know who said it originally. I read it in a book called The Artist's Way. It was in the margin quoted from whoever said it originally. But anyhow, the saying is, leap and the net will appear. Right?
I remember you saying that the first time.
Yeah. I mean,
I like that.
That's my big thing. You know, when I was, you know, years ago, I was working at a call center, you know, doing fundraising for, you know, my alma mater. I went to USC and studied jazz music there. And when I graduated, I was trying to make it as a jazz drummer and just scraping by, barely making it. So I was like the super senior at the USC call center, in there with, like, you know, freshmen and sophomores. And here I am, 23, 24 going on, still having to work there at this soul sucking job at the call center, you know, just hating it. Has nothing to do with my passion. You know, I'm there, I'm knowing that I'm meant to do music, you know, for real. And I've been dreaming of that since I was a kid, but yet, you know, I had to do this job to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing a job, but I remember feeling like, all right, it's time. I got to get out of here. And I remember I spoke with my dad, and he was, you know, he said the responsible, I guess, parent thing to say, which was like, okay, before you quit, you know, you got to replace that income with the next income. And I was like, yeah. Okay. You know, I was trying to hear him out and everything. But in the end, that didn't happen, man. The next week I went in and I said, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I got to go chase my dream. And it was that leap and the net will appear. I didn't know where my next check was going to come from necessarily. You know, I had a couple gigs. I had a couple students because I was teaching drum lessons. And until I took that leap, right? Until I left the call center job and cut my ties there and dove all the way into music and said, you know what? Come hell or high water, I'm going to make this work. Nothing really started moving for me. And as soon as I leapt like that, as soon as I took that leap, it was just game over. I never looked back, and I've been full-time music since then. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think the reason things started to align for me is because I took that leap of faith. So that's what I would say. Anybody that has a passion or a dream and they're ready to make it their life and the way that they make their living, you know, take that leap.
If you're just tuning in, it's the Tie and Hoodie Show right here on 93.5 K-Day every Sunday morning, 6:30 to 7 a.m. We're talking to the one and only Harry Mack, talking about his leap of faith. And I think that's something a lot of people need to hear, especially during this 2020, 2021, and who knows how long it'll go on. Where are some, I got a couple questions, man, but where can they reach you at, or where can they go get this, they watch these videos and reach out to you if they want to do the one-on-one Zoom?
Oh, yeah. Great. So, you know, you can hit on my website, harrymackofficial.com. harrymack.com, HARRYMACK. I'm also on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, you name it, all just, at Harry Mack. And, the happy hour streams where we're bringing people on via video chat go on YouTube and Facebook. We got the schedule up on the website. So yeah, Google me, my pages will come up, and I would love for anybody listening to follow me and get on board.
Yeah, I think it's only right, you know what I'm saying? Because people, we're not just doing this for us. We're doing this because I think more people need to know about you, and more people need to experience what we experience with you. And we'll get into some of that later on during the show, since it's Valentine's Day for the ladies. But I want to know, is there a day, like, when you have that set schedule, and I know Andrew might get up some days and say, hey, I got to go do, some loans or whatnot, and may not feel it. I have to do some things and I may not. Or is there any day that Harry Mack wakes up and be like, and I know you have to do certain things, but you like, today I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a human being, man, just like everybody else. So there's days when I wake up and I'm like, man, I don't even really feel like being creative today. Oops, sorry, man.
That's all right.
That's all right. We're feeling you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's days where I wake up and I'm not feeling it, Yeah, and I've dealt with anxiety and things like that can hit hard in the morning, or voices of negativity, self-doubt, fear to put myself out there, or just being in a bad mood, feeling grumpy. I don't want to freestyle today, man. I just want to chill, So I definitely have been there. But the funny thing is, for me, I feel very fortunate to have found something that I truly love. I mean, there's nothing in the world that I love more than performing, improvising, being creative, and rapping. And so what's crazy is if I can just pull myself out of bed, right? If I can just get past that initial obstacle and break through that barrier and get started, as soon as I start rhyming, as soon as I start doing what I believe I was meant to do, all those clouds clear away and dissipate. And all of a sudden I'm back in that flow state and I remember why I love it. And I'll tell you what, man, I've probably freestyled how many hours have I freestyled now? I don't know. We could all place our bets. I feel like it's over 100,000 hours. I don't know if that adds up, but I've freestyled so many hours and it never gets old, man. I always get that adrenaline rush. I always feel that love. And so I just have to, get out of bed and get started.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, wow, Harry. I mean, so just relating to your story about doing the things that you were doing just to put food on the table. I mean, Trevon and I have been there. And even up as early as last year, Trevon and I, we've been talking for 10 years. Yeah. We go back 10. No, this is year number 11, bro.
Yeah.
Man, dude, we're getting old. Okay, well, I mean, we've talked about this dead-end job, and we are about the same time just said, screw it, we're out of here. He quit his job, from when he was with, producing over there at KD. I quit my job at the same time, and I took a leap of faith. The first year was rough, bro. It was rough, and I had to say, whatever, I'm going to do what I love doing, which is helping people find mortgage loans for their homes. That's what I love to do. I don't care what kind of negative voices come in my head. I mean, I had to do the same thing too. And I relate with what you're doing. And it took me a while to really believe that I had that talent.
Right.
So, but yours is a little different level of talent. Mine was, okay, I had to read this stuff and understand it and just regurgitate it to somebody who needs that knowledge. But yours, you have to improvise every freaking second. Now that's crazy. How do you do that? I mean, not one of your videos I watched that doesn't trip me over, to see how you just take blue, red, white, whatever, and say, it doesn't matter where they're from. So I just want to give you props for that. Harry Mack, you've from when I discovered you've changed my life, and I think you've changed hundreds of thousands of lives, if not millions.
I appreciate that so much, man. Thank you. But hey, I would say this real quick. Don't downplay your talent either, man, because talent takes many different shapes and forms, and as talented as John Coltrane, the jazz improviser was, right? There's also the talent of, Yo-Yo Ma, right? The classical cellist, that he doesn't improvise. Every note he plays was written by somebody else, not him. But yet the way he presents what he's memorized and internalized is at such a high level. You know, his talent is undeniable. So just because you read your stuff out of a book and say it verbatim doesn't mean that you're not bringing a special talent to what you're doing. So shout out to you as well, man.
Definitely.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
I want to get into, you know, hey, it's Valentine's Day. We got about 9 minutes left. I want Harry Mack, before we get to the Harry Mack special, what we, you know, what the world wants to hear. I want to just give some advice to the gentlemen out there, you know, during these times. You know, some things that Harry Mack would tell them, like how to treat their lady or their loved ones,
or even how the ladies can treat their husbands or their boyfriends or their, you know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, man. That's funny, bro. I never spoke on this really publicly.
Come on, that's what I'm here for.
I love it, man. I love it. You know what? I'm in a serious relationship and have been in it for a few years now. Me and my girlfriend live together, and you know we're partners in life and also in work. You know, we work together as well and support each other in our career. She's also an entrepreneur and has her own business. So you know, I think. You know, when you're dealing with the person that you love, you know, that's your best friend, that's your partner, and always in a long-term partnership, there's going to have to be sacrifice, you know? So I think that part is really, really important, you know, to set the ego aside sometimes, be willing to make sacrifices, compromise with the other person, you know, be able to listen. And something that I'm really working on, you know, a lot right now, is being able to listen empathically, right? Listen, but not just listen to the words, try to understand, you know, first understand what my partner is saying to me before I try to be understood myself. You know, I'm freestyling all the time. I'm really good at talking. I'm probably taking way too long on all these answers. You guys were thinking I'd do 30 seconds, but here I am going, I'm good at talking, right? But listening is actually a much more important skill, I think, than talking. If you're able to listen empathically, listen deeply, and really put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you can learn a lot more than you'll ever learn if you're just blabbing away. So listen to your lover, you know, and let's build, man. Let's help the love grow, bro. 2021, it's quarantine, but we still gonna let the love grow, you know.
Harry Mack's love line. Harry Mack's love line coming soon.
That's right.
That's a trademark right there. You should go trademark that stuff. Harry Mack's love line. You know.
Hey man, I'll bring you guys in on that. Let's do it.
But look, we got about 5 minutes left, man. Can you do something for, you know, what we just talked about, Valentine's Day? There's no special words we want to throw out there. Maybe just love, you know, like listening, and come up with or whatever he wants to come up with. Just regular something for the ladies, or you know, just Valentine's Day right here on 93.5 K-Day from the one and only Harry Mack.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me drop this beat real quick.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. I punched in some words, so
okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, check it out, come on. H-Mack off the top of the mind. Tying hoodie shoe, we be reppin' divine. H-Mack off the tip, hey, never kick a challenge rhyme. Hey, yo, I'm shedding love, kinda like Valentine's. Mack all up in it, I know what we about. Hey, we about to keep it moving while we on this route, come on. Okay, let me get into the flow. Every time I rock the mic, man, I treat it like a show. Come on, I'm coming off top, kicking these bars. I'ma send my love through like a Valentine's Day card. Mack, I'm all up in it, representing for the art. To my woman, hell no, I'm about to open up my heart, yeah. Hey, yo, together we be boosting that position, hey. And nowadays I be focused trying to listen. It ain't about to happen magically. I gotta learn how to listen empathically. Come on, cause if you can't listen, you about to lose. Gotta learn to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Sometimes they be talking you like that was nice, but no, really listen, dog, make a sacrifice. Come on, hey, yo, I know sometimes it's gonna be harder. We gon' let the love grow, building with your partner. Yeah, I'm sending love out to the ladies. Peace of the people out there, we going crazy. Come on, hey yo, I'm making this look easy. This the day we celebrating L-O-V-E. Hey yo, we about to open up the heart, open up the chest. Every time I spit, I'm leaving y'all impressed. Come on, hey yo, can you give the love? Don't say no way. It's okay to go and get your girl a bouquet. Yeah, you know the don't last for hours. When I'm flowing, I be growing like the flowers. Yeah, my heart to my woman, I expose this. Ayy, I got a feeling proper off the roses. Ayy, sometimes love, it pricks you like a thorn, but you wake up in the morning, find a new way to perform. We gon' lift it to the top. Ayy, y'all know I'm remembering all the loving moments, they was boosting my adrenaline. Come on, and y'all know that it's never enough. Back when I was young, falling in love with my crush. Hey, yo, it's not about the facade of the foolery, and it ain't about buying most expensive jewelry. I mean, if you can afford it, do your thing, but she should love you even if you can't buy the bling. Yeah. Even if you can't leave it polished, gotta be acknowledged. It ain't about your wallet, it ain't about the money in your checking account. And if your checking goes low, she ain't trying to bounce, she's dedicated. I'm off the top, not creative. Hey yo, I'm sending all of y'all out there Valentine's Day wishes. X's and O's, I be sending hugs and kisses. Mack all up in it, and you know I run the antics. It's getting frantic. Hey yo, my flow is so romantic. How could they manage? Hey yo, I do it on the holiday. I'm never holding back, cause Harry Mack gon' do it all the way. Hey, sending love out to all the listeners. Off the top, I be in the top position. Last couple coming your way. What can I say? Sending love to all of y'all on Valentine's Day. Let's go.
Hey, Harry Mack right here on 93.5 K-Day. You can reach him at harrymack.com. He's available for Zoom bookings, family parties, everything. Harry, go ahead and tell them everything, man, what you got going on.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. The website, harrymackofficial.com. There's another Harry Mack, but I'm harrymackofficial.com. And Harry Mack across the board, man. HARRYMACK. Just want to thank you guys again for having me on the show, man. Always a blessing to come through.
Hey, we appreciate your time. The Tie and Hoodie Show right here on Sunday, 93.5 K-Day, 6:30 to 7 a.m. every Sunday. Harry Mack, salute to you, brother. Definitely want to keep in contact. I said, as soon as things open up, we're going to help out with those situations. Hey, we appreciate you. You're a talented brother, man.
Right back to you, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Harry Mack.
My pleasure.
Hey, do you have valuable information that can help your community?
Okay.
And you'd like to be a guest? Hit us on our social media.
Do it now.
The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.